Dante Moore has committed to the Oregon Ducks. This is a massive get for Dan Lanning. If you remember correctly, Dante Moore, during his recruitment in high school, was originally committed to Oregon before flipping his commitment to go to UCLA. So what does it mean for Oregon? What does it mean for Dante Moore? We'll talk about both those things, but really quickly, make sure you're subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel. We have right around 70% of our audience that is not yet subscribed. So you're already watching. We're not asking for anything extra. We're not going to hit you up with any spam email, none of that. Just helps us do more of what you want to see when you subscribe because we get good data. All right, so we appreciate y'all for that. Also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JD Piquel. Let me know what you think about this. This is a big get. Like I said to start this whole show, number 2 quarterback in the transfer portal. He was a 5-star in the 2023 class. Again, he was originally committed to Oregon. He flipped his commitment because he wanted to play early. And Bo Nix said, hey, I'm coming back for another year. Oregon fans are glad that he did. Dante Moore said, hey, thank you, but no thank you. I want to play early. Goes to UCLA. Kind of an up and down year. Saw some good, saw some bad. Ended up not being the guy at UCLA long term. But this commitment to me shows a ton of maturity from Dante Moore. Because this is a guy that, again, at one point in time said playing time, playing right away was important to him. And now, after the season he had, he goes back to the drawing board and has a conversation, I'm sure, with the people close to him and says, you know what, I think I need a little bit more time. I'm not opposed to sitting behind somebody. Because Oregon got a commitment earlier in this portal cycle from Dillon Gabriel. And Dillon Gabriel is going to be a phenomenal tool for Dante Moore to learn from. Because he's a guy that's played a ton of college football, had a ton of success at all of his stops to this point. I expect nothing different at Oregon. Great individual to learn from, a great guy to get experience from, get a whole year to develop physically, to get more comfortable in a college setting, in a college offense. I think this is ultimately going to be one of the best things that happened to Dante Moore was sitting behind a guy like Dillon Gabriel. I love this fit. Offensively, I think this is a great fit for a guy like Dante Moore. The reason being, what it takes to succeed in Will Stein's offense is being accurate, being efficient, being a quick processor. Being able to sit behind Dillon Gabriel for a year is going to help just even speed up the processing even more for a guy like Dante Moore, from being able to see how Dillon Gabriel does things. And then we look at the skill set for Dante Moore. This was the first line of his scouting report from Charles Power, Director of Scouting for On3, coming out of high school. One of the more accurate and efficient quarterbacks in the class. Mic drop. Like, he can and will be successful at Oregon if he uses this year behind Dillon Gabriel properly. It's not to say Dante Moore can't still push Dillon Gabriel, but I would be wildly surprised if anybody but Dillon Gabriel is starting for you at any point in time this season for Oregon outside of something like an injury or something unforeseen. This is massive for Oregon for a couple of reasons, though, outside of just how talented he is. Like, for Oregon now, you check the boxes for the present with Dillon Gabriel being your quarterback, and you ensure success going forward to run that offense to perfection. You also ensure success in the future with the talent of a Dante Moore, being content to sit behind and play his role. Like, this is a very, very dangerous thing now for the rest of college football, that Oregon's going to have sustained success now for the next couple of years, is the assumption with both these quarterbacks for you. Should also be mentioned, a caliber quarterback of Dante Moore have to believe that NIL is a factor with anyone of his ability. Credit Oregon once again for having their NIL ducks in a row to go out and get not just one, but 2 really talented individuals to run their offense going forward. This is also, I think, proof of concept for what Dan Lanning has built. Yes, they've won games. Their offense has scored points. It's now attracting talent. It's now attracting the right guys to be in-house at Oregon. And so the relationships they had over the course of his recruitment, too, you have to believe played a factor with landing Dante Moore, because to be able to decommit from a place and then recommit to a place right around a year and a half later, that staff must have handled that decommitment exceptionally well, starting with Dan Lanning. So I'm excited to watch this. I'm excited to see how Dante Moore develops at a place like Oregon. I think this is a really mature move by him, and credit to Dan Lanning and credit to that staff for the way they handled this recruitment. Credit to Oregon for the way they handled, I'm sure, at some degree, the NIL requirement. And this is a great fit for his skill set, for his career. Again, could be the very best thing for Dante Moore, and I promise you, it's one of the very best things for Oregon now looking to the future. Make sure you're subscribed. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at JD Piquel. Oregon fans, get at me on there. Make sure you're following, but let me know how you feel about this commitment from a 5-star quarterback from the 2023 class that's coming to you now by way of the portal. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling. And we'll see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.